Hi, I'm Abby.
And I'm Ethan.
And welcome to PQATV's In Focus, a look behind the scenes of performing arts.
Today we are very excited to be in the centre of Sheffield at the historic Lyceum Theatre.
We are here to see the iconic musical Priscilla Queen of the Desert and interview some of those involved in the show.
We will also be interviewing well-known stage and screen actor Joe McFadden, who recently won Strictly Come Dancing.
Hiya.
He's right there!
Here he is. Yes, you will be interviewing Joe McFadden as soon as he has a coffee. How are you? All right, I'm Joe.
Lovely to meet you.
You guys are freezing.
We will be talking to the director and the young actors on stage to get insight into working professionally in the theatre.
Shall we go in?
Sure. So what's the casting process like for a hit show such as Priscilla?
It's quite extensive. This is a cast of 18 plus 2 children, and all of them need to be fantastic at everything. There were a lot of dance auditions, then singing, then acting, and you really had to look at people's talent to go through those.
Can you tell us some of the challenges with taking a show like this on tour?
It's a mammoth show. We have a lot of costumes, a lot of wigs. Every number pretty much involves a costume change. So in Act 1, anytime our cast are not on stage, they are changing costume.
And what would you say to any aspiring director wanting to get into theatre?
I think the key thing is see as much as you can, always. Try and keep visiting theatre and seeing things that you normally wouldn't go to. It's always about broadening your horizon, seeing other ways of working, other people's work that really inspires you and what really moves or affects you, and that can go into your own work.
So, when did you first realise you wanted to act, and how did you get into acting?
I got into acting as a kid, funnily enough. That's why it's nice working with the Benjis, because they're kind of the same age as I was when I started. I was like 12 when I started doing TV. I had a great drama teacher in Glasgow, and I'd never acted before. I'd never trained in it, but I got myself a part on TV, and then I was in a soap opera from 15. That's how I got started. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So you have been on TV a lot.
Yeah, I have somehow, yeah.
What would you say the main differences are between stage and screen acting?
I suppose the difference with doing theatre productions is that you learn it and then you know it, and you have to make it fresh every night. You have to try and find new stuff in it. Whereas if you're doing telly, I just did 4 years on Holby, and it's really difficult because you have to learn it sometimes the night before, and then you do it once, twice, and then that's it, it's finished, and you have to just get rid of it. So it's a completely different process of learning. The performance is very different too, because obviously on stage it has to be really big, and the people at the back of the circle have to understand what you're going through as a character. Whereas when a camera's on you, sometimes it's like right there. Yeah. So it has to be just all in your head and not so much in your physicality. So they're almost two completely different types of jobs in a way. But I'm lucky that I get to do both.
Tell us about your experience with performing in Priscilla.
The great thing about doing a tour is that every theatre changes the show. We're in Sheffield at the minute, and the audiences are quite raucous. Further north you get, the louder and the more they participate in the show, which is brilliant. The great thing about doing Priscilla is the audience feel like they can get up, they feel like they can dance along and sing along. It's brilliant that you have that effect on an audience.
So you've played a vast wide range of characters.
Yes.
What would you say your process is for developing each character?
It's funny, I haven't been to drama school, so I don't really have a process. I sort of just make it up as I go along, and every character's different, and some characters I read them and I go, oh, I know how to do that, and I don't really need to do too much. Whereas this is it's so far from where I'm from. You know, I'm from Scotland, my character's from Australia. He's a drag queen, as you can tell from my costume behind me. So I sort of had to immerse myself a bit in that world. Just the Australian accent, the Australian way of expressing yourself is so different to being British. So I watch loads of Australian television, I watch loads of Australian films, and I watched lots of RuPaul's Drag Race as well, which really helped. Just get into the sassiness of all.
How has winning Strictly Come Dancing changed your career?
Yeah, I mean, I'm under no illusion that I got this part because of Strictly, because, you know, it has such a massive viewership and people love that show so much. And if you do that show, you're pretty much guaranteed to get some work afterwards. And I've been really lucky that I've gotten to do a couple of really lovely tours.
Do you have any advice for any young performers who are wanting to get into the industry?
If you want to do it, do it. Like whether that be in an amateur club, in something like Paul and Quirky Academy, and also do it for the love of doing it. Don't do it thinking you're going to be rich and famous, because most people aren't rich or famous. If you can manage to just make a living doing this business, then you're doing really, really well. So know your reasons for going into it. Go into it because you love drama, you love acting. Do it because it nourishes you and it makes you happy. Because, you know, life's too short to do stuff that doesn't make you happy.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
How are we doing?
Thank you for giving us your time today. We are really excited to talk to you about your experience in Priscilla.
Where do you do your performing arts training, and how did you get cast in Priscilla?
I do mine at PQA Sheffield.
And I do mine at PQA Doncaster, and we both went to the audition in London. Had to do one audition, then we'd wait to get a call back, do another one in front of some of the actors, see what they thought, and then I think it took a couple of months actually.
So what's it like working in a production like this?
It's really good, and it's a really good experience to build your confidence and stuff.
Really, really nice. You get to know the cast a lot. Everyone's lovely because everyone's very supportive.
What are you learning by being in a show like this with other professional performers?
You learn about how to be professional and build your confidence and stuff like that.
You learn a lot from them, really. You see how they do it. Obviously, because they've got different characters, but try and use some of the techniques they use in acting in your performance.
So, with PQA, what other productions have you done in the past?
Well, I've done a couple actually. I've done Madagascar. I've done Alice's Adventures Underground, which was like a promenade theatre. Now I'm doing Shakespeare in the Park.
I've been in The Wizard of Oz, Peter Pan. I mean, everybody's talking about Jamie, like the movie.
I love that.
Yeah.
Obviously with PQA you learn a lot. What skills would you say you've developed whilst being there?
Definitely confidence, and also other skills like dancing and singing and stuff like that.
Definitely having ambition to do more. Like, that's the motto is be yourself, be amazing. Never feel like anything's going to hold you back. Always go that extra mile.
Do you have any advice or insights for our viewers who also want to be professional actors?
Well, if you ever get an audition or you ever get a chance, take it. And I know it's going to be nervous and you're going to be performing in front of all these producers and everything, but just do your very, very best. And you never know, you might just get it like we did.
I've got my ticket and I'm very excited to see the costumes, the music. What about you?
Oh, I can't wait to see how different Joe's going to look. I mean, did you see that costume? I think it's time we went in.
All right, we'll see you after.
Finally, it's happened to me right in front of my face, and I just cannot shake it, shake it, shake it. I can shake it. I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'm still alive. I've got all my life to live. I've got all my love to give. I know survive.
I absolutely loved the show. The singing, the dancing, it was amazing. I couldn't have imagined anything else.
I loved all the costumes and all the glam side of it, and all the props were absolutely brilliant.
But sadly, that's all we've got time for in today's episode of PQA TV's In Focus. I've been Abby.
And I've been Ethan. Thanks for watching.
Bye.